Good morning, students. Karthik, good morning. Imtiaz, good morning. Shibam, good morning. Shankarishwari, good morning. Shivanti, good morning. Banu, good morning. Pawan, good morning. Ankur, good morning. Manikanta, good morning. Ananyoy, good morning. Perin, good morning. Even anonymous attendees also, good morning. Pallikarthi, good morning. Venkat, good morning. Pallavi, good morning. Ritesh, very good morning. Sudarshan, good morning. Sriram, good morning. Nikhil, good morning. Sarthak, good morning. Mohan, good morning. Naveen, good morning. Sonia, good morning. Vanishwari, good morning. Subhash, good morning. Shiva Prasad, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Yes. Mohit, good morning. Megha, good morning. Arpiti, good morning. Right, beta. Very good. Very good. Very good. Someone has raised their hands. Allow me, first of all. If I raise your hands, then I will not be in a position to. Definitely, I'll give some time to you. Please lower your hands, please. Okay. Nice. Nice meeting you all. Right, beta. So we'll start. See, we are not moving ahead. There's a lot of things to be taught. That is what where I'm scared a little bit about. Right, time and ask. Okay, very good. Come on, let us see. Right. If you have learned something, that is more than enough for me. That is what exactly I want. Like, right, good. Having seen last time, no, I'll definitely come. Your doubts, I'll try to clarify them, students. Like having seen last time your queries abstract noun, I was into kind of a vocabulary, students. Like now today we'll go into abstract noun. Abstract noun, what is that? We have seen vocabulary last time, students, like how vocabulary has to be improved, vocabulary. And now number 2, we'll be moving on to grammar point of view. Last time you remember, so never confine yourselves to suppose a chapter. It's not grammar, please. There are a lot of things that we need to study. So today, grammar. So what is grammar, students, like now? So abstract nouns, grammar point of view, abstract nouns. Abstract nouns are formed from what? So they are formed from, or they take origin from what exactly? That's what we have to see now. So number 1, students, like abstract nouns are formed from. Today here, we will learn a technique to identify the word. Now, so far, you were not in a position to identify the word. Sir, I don't know what is noun. I don't know how to identify it as a verb. I don't know how to identify it as a adjective. I don't know how to identify that given word as a adverb. So today we will learn abstract nouns are formed from number 1. Number 1, adjective, students, like adjectives. Actually, they are formed from what we call it as adjectives, like. For example, you have a word goodness, N-E-S-S, goodness, from where it has come from, like goodness from good. From goodness has come, students, like now. So goodness, so kindness from what we call it as a kindness, like, right? So you have something like words like 1 minute. Goodness from good, kindness from kind, bravery from brave, bravery from brave, honesty from honest, honesty from honest, wisdom from wise, excellence, get question please, excellence from excellent. Okay, so abstract nouns are formed from adjectives. Abstract nouns are formed from number 2, students, verbs also. They are formed from verbs. That's what we have to master, please. They are formed from verbs. So how they are formed from verbs, some I'll try to give you. For example, growth, Growth, growth from grow. So grow is a verb, students. Growth from grow. Education from educate. Obedience from obey. Gate question, please. Okay, right. Abstract nouns are formed from common nouns. Just wait, once I finish, I'll explain, students. They are formed from common nouns. So something like childhood. Childhood from child. Boyhood from boy. Slavery from slave. Slavery from what we call it as a slave, students, like now, right? Sickness from sick. Sickness from sick. Poverty from poor. So what did you learn just now? Come on, let us just see, students, like. So grammar point of view, I am into now kind of grammar. Now what is this grammar? That's what the vocabulary. Last time I have just introduced vocabulary concept, how to. Right now today we are into grammar. Abstract nouns are formed from adjective, students. Now so here we go slowly, step by step. Let me just see. So goodness from good. Now slowly let us come to the what we call it, this understanding of these one, students. Now so good is goodness. All the words that end in NESS, try to be remembered, please. If you open dictionary, there are thousands of words which end in NESS. Try to understand this concept, please. Students, now you should recognize the words now. Now slowly now you're recognizing the words now. NESS, sir, it is noun. Very good. If it is noun, what is its position? You have to use in the beginning of the sentence or end of the sentences. Okay, goodness. So this is noun, students, like now. I'm just writing here now. All the words that end in, be reminded now. All the words that end in NESS, they are nouns. And good is nothing but it is adjective. They fall before nouns. Words ending in ERY, they are nouns. And the word brave is adjective. How do you know brave? Before it falls before noun. So brave person. What kind of person? We cannot say bravery person, we cannot say. Goodness person, we cannot say. Be reminded, please. Okay, right. Honesty. All the words, or most of the words that end in, most of the words what we call it as end in TY, honesty, generosity, integrity. They are all nouns, students. Okay. And honest is adjective. So from honest, honesty has come. Wisdom, all the words that end in dumb, nouns, like a kingdom, wisdom, right? Referendum, all these words are nouns. From wise, wise is adjective. How do you know adjective? Is a person, is a wisdom person, we don't say, but we say is a wise person, we say. Okay, so just add before noun, because adjectives modify. Excellence, the word ending in CE, the word ending in CE, students, like now, already Gate has tested this word. Most of the words which end in CE, like intelligence, conscience, prescience. Now, what are all them? They're all nouns now. They're all nouns, please. They're nouns. And the word excellent is adjective. Is a person. We don't say is an excellence person, but we say is an excellent person, we say. So it is adjective. Now, are you able to recognize how the words are formed now? Right. Now we'll move on to the next one, students. Now here we see. So the next one is verbs also. So this abstract nouns are also formed from verbs also. So how do you know they are formed from words? Words ending in TH, they are all nouns like health, growth, wealth. These are all nouns, please. How many words are there in dictionary? There are plenty of words which end in TH. Grow, this is verb. How do you know it is a verb? Just wait. Verb is the only parts of speech which we can easily identify because it has three forms. V1 form, that is present. V2 form, that is past. V3 form, that is past participle. If a word does not have these three forms, then it is not a verb. How? Grow, grew, grown, over. There's nothing like that. It's not difficult, students. Like the word that is ending in TION, they're all noun, students, like now education, integration, all these words like formation, words ending in TION. How many words do we have in English? Like dictionary, plenty, a plethora of words, students. Educate, the word ends in ATE, they're all verbs, students, like now. Right, students, like now. Eat, ate, eaten, educate, educated, educated. It has three forms. If a word does not have these three forms, then it is not a verb. It's very easy to identify verbs now. Obedience, it's a great question, as I have already told you now. See, so they're all nouns, students, like obey. It is verb. Like how it is verb? Obey, obeyed, obeyed. Very easy. Abstract nouns are also formed from common nouns. So they're also formed from common nouns, students, like now. How common nouns? Let me just try to highlight that. Childhood, words ending in hood, they're all nouns like. I'll give the page numbers also, don't worry, so that it is easy for you to learn. Educate. Childhood, boyhood, neighborhood, your Bollywood, Hollywood, Tollywood, all are nouns only, right? Very good. Childhood, from child. Now, child is a common noun. Why it is common noun? Child, 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 child. Yes, common noun. So they're all common noun, students, like now. Childhood, slavery. Words ending in ERY, they are all what we call it as nouns. But slave is a common noun. Mohan is a slave, Tintu is a slave, Bittu is a slave, Chitti is a slave, all are slaves, common nouns, like, right? Words ending in NESS, they are all nouns, students. And sick is what we call it as a common noun. Sick, 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 right? Poverty, word ending in TY, they are all what we call it as like nouns, like integrity, just I said. They are nouns. But poor, Sohan is poor, Mohan is poor, 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 poor. They're all common nouns. I suppose you have understood now. Try to understand this concept slowly. You will understand, students, like now. So the chapter abstract now we are into kind of a grammar. Gate has already tested. This is one thing that we have to master, students, like now. Now, the next question to us is, how do we know that particular word? Just now we have seen, like, how do you know that word is noun? Sorry, it ends in NESS. Very good. That is what now that is called a suffix. So how do we identify words? With the help of what we call it as a suffixes. How do we identify words? With the help of what we call it as the suffixes. So, for example, students, like now, so suffixes, like how do we identify noun suffixes? Come on, let us see now. Noun suffixes, like all the words that end in TION. All the words that end in TION, SION, OR, ER, dumb, hood, CE, NESS, NESS, ING, ISM, right, students, like now, MENT, etc. I'll refer the page number, please. Now, just now I'll give you. How many are there? There are 30 noun suffixes in English, which means it takes only 30 seconds to master A to Z English. That's all. There are 30 suffixes. I'll give you the list also. Don't worry now. There are others also. Like. So now, is it difficult now? Tomorrow examiner will ask you. The word is ending in SION. Which parts of speech it is? Now, over. Let me identify what we call it as adjective, students, like now. So adjectives. So what are the words adjectives? Like words ending in OUS, words ending in ING, words ending in IC, words ending in CAL, words ending in ORY, words ending in SIVE, words ending in Y, words ending in FUL, words ending in what we call it as like able, what we call it as etc. I'll refer the page number. All the words that end in OUS, ING, some are repeated also. So don't get distinguished now. Depends on the sentence. How do we work out like? Yes, here there is ING, here there is ING also. Some are repeated also. OUS. is a person, is a generous person. It's a movie. It's an interesting movie. I have qualification. I have an academic qualification. I have feelings. I have inimical feelings. What kind of feelings? Inimical feelings. He made a remark. He made a derogatory remark. I have a pen. I have an expensive pen. It's a place. It's a bushy place. She's a girl. She's a beautiful girl. Able is an able person. Now tell me, is it difficult for you? This is how we have to identify. First of all, learn adjectives. An educated person, it is always said that he learns adjectives first. Sometimes when you don't know words, sometimes you go to interview and all, like they ask you, describe a person in 3 words, 4 words, like, yes. Use adjectives, 3 adjectives, that is enough. Yes. So sometimes what we call it as like, honest, available, right? Yes. Right. Dutiful, over, 3 words. So something what we call it as like, there are 29 adjective suffixes in English. Generally, I term them as 29. There can be here and there some exceptional cases, repetitions and all, like, right? Yeah. How much time does it take to master adjective from A to dictionary? Only 29 seconds it takes. I have already written PVR now. Wonderful students. Now, how do we identify that particular word is what we call it as a verb also? Generally, we try to categorize them as verbs now. Words ending in ed, words ending in t, words ending in ing, words ending in fy, words ending in ise, words ending in what we call it as ate, etc. There are only few students like now. There are 5 or 6. Ed, educate, educated, educated. If a verb does not have 3 forms, it is not a verb. Learn, learnt, t, ing, interesting, educating, all ing forms like play, playing, fi, signify, signified, isc, memorize, 8, demonstrate, demonstrated, demonstrated. You would understand, students, now? There are 5 or 6. I'll refer the page number also. Don't worry about that one now, right? So these are all suffixes. We have to master them because GATE has tested. And if you do not know how to identify, and there is one adverb, students, like, I don't want to go with that adverb now. This is very easy. Most of the words end in ly. Most of the words end in ly. They are termed as adverbs. Like, then conjunctions you should know. Then prepositions you should know. Conjunctions, like what we call it as like, okay. So today, you don't know sometimes. So when you look at the parts of speech, sometimes some students told me, sir, it's very difficult for me to, what is this adjectives? My teachers, we have been using the word noun, 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 nomenclature, name of, name. You have to mention name. What is pronoun? They have significant names. Pro means in the place of. Using in the place of noun is called pronoun. One of the meanings of pro. Verb. What is verb, students? Like, it's a word actually. Verb means a word actually. It is a word. Adjective. Ad means 2 words. Jective means to throw. Throw towards noun. Adverb. Towards verb. She sings. How she sings? Sings is verb. That which goes with the verb, it should be adverb. Adverb. Towards verb. She sings melodiously. Over. Preposition. Position. Where? Pre of what? Noun. Before noun. Preposition. It has meaning. Conjunction. Con means together. Co, call, com, con. They're all what we call it as together. Junction, meeting place. Joining them. That is what, like. Con, together meeting them. Together joining them. Interjection. Inter means from within. Jection means to throw. Suddenly throwing from inside. That is called exclamatory signs. Every part of speech has a word. So don't think that they don't have significance. You need to master these concepts first of all, students, like now. Very good now. So as I told you, students, like now, I'll just give the reference also. So verb is something what we call it as, it's very easy, students like to identify. I'll come back to verb also, because we have the chapter called tenses. Okay. So there also I'll throw significant light on that one. Like how do we identify like V1, V2 and V3? It's very easy. V1, V2 and V3. Supposing like how do you know that this particular word is a verb? Play. And it should have three forms like PLAYED, played and played over. Supposing I use the word learn, L-E-A-R-N, learn, learnt, L-E-A-R-N-T, learnt. Supposing I'm using some irregular verbs like sing, sang, sung. Somewhere they have used the word. What is the past tense of sing? Someone told me singed. There's no word singed there. There are 150 or 51 irregular verbs. They change their form. Sing becomes sang, sang becomes sung. Grow becomes grew, grew becomes grown. If you know this 150, all the grammar books or dictionaries give this irregular verbs. Other than that, you can term them as ed, ed, ed. It's very easy, that's all. Right, students, like now, right? Supposing I use the word work, worked, worked. Now you can go as many as possible, like worked, worked, like. Say work. Worked. Do you have any words? I have some more words. I'll just go with what we call it as like, okay, right? So if a word has these three forms, then it is considered as the verb. If it does not have these three forms, so I started asking some students in the class, give me verbs like. One of the students got up and told me, sir, I have a word. I said, which word, man? He said, horse. I was stunned in the class, horse. And he told me, sir, take it to three forms. It has three forms. I said, what is horse, man? I said, Sarji, lejiye, horse. As you told, ting, 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 ting. This also should be ting, ting, ting. And now what is this ting, ting, ting now? Let us see. Horse, horsed, horsed. That is what one student told. Horsed, it seems. Then looking at this guy, one more student got motivated and said, sir, I also have one more word. Which word do you have, man? He told me I have one word called pig. I said, okay, pig. Pig, pigged, he said, okay. What is there to write? Just I have started writing them on the board. And looking at these boys, one girl also got inspired and said, sir, kya wo ladke bol sakte kya? Hum ladkiyan nahi bol sakte kya? And she said, what? Dog, okay. Dog, dogged, okay. And many were inspired. And people started giving, sir, rabbit. Rabbited. What is there? If a verb has these three forms, then you can term them as what we call it as adjectives. Sorry, the verbs, like very easy there. Now many students had a doubt. ये तो हम सुने हैं. We have heard play, learn, sing, work, but what is this verb now? Many were confused about it. Then I started asking them what we call it as like, which are all verbs now. Then students started narrating them. Sir, play is verb, very good. Learn is verb, very good. Sing is verb, very good. Work is verb. And someone told me, sir, horse is noun, pig is noun, dog is noun, rabbit is noun, because they are what we call it as the names of the animals. They are absolutely right. Absolutely right. But today you should understand, you are at competitive level. You have heard in your primary school, your KG class Lily teacher taught you. What she taught you? Bete, horse is an animal which runs very fast. Then very good. Oh, Lily teacher, what she taught us in first class, right? She should also have taught something else, but she did not teach. And today we are facing problem. But today you should understand, students, like we are at competitive level, you should understand that horse is also verb also. Sir, how it is verb? That's what I said. We are at competitive level place. Don't confine yourselves what you have learned in primary school. That is the word like. No. The same word can even act as sometimes verb also. The same word can act as even adverb also sometimes. Are you able to understand like? So today you have to understand it is verb also. And if it is verb, by default you should have these three forms. Present. Now what is V1? Present. What is V2? Past. What is V3? Past participle. Forget about it. Okay, today we have to master this concept, students. Like highly educated people use these words. Yesterday we have seen Peter. It's the name of the person. Peter. I'm writing here now. Let me see one word. What we call it as like Peter. Petered. Petered. You have learned one word, right? Egg. Egg. Egged. Egged. Very good. Interesting, right? So you should understand today 90% of nouns can become verbs also. That is the concept that you have to master today. So you are increasing your vocabulary now. But only thing is, sir, now the question is, I know horse is noun. Horse runs very fast as an animal. But what do you mean by verb, students, like now? So what is the simple rule that we have to master today is that if a noun becomes verb, it takes the characteristic features of noun. So what happens, students, like now, right? And so when a verb, when a noun, we can write down, please, maybe. I'll just go with that. When a noun becomes, it usually takes the characteristic feature of a noun. That's all. Very easy concept. When a noun becomes verb, it generally takes the characteristic feature of a noun. Overman, very easy to master this concept. So play, learn, And one more thing that you have to understand, between V1 and V2, there is something what you have to understand is, there is something like ing form. That's what we have to understand, ing form. So play automatically will become now playing. Okay. Learn will become now learning. Sing will become singing. Work becomes working. Horse automatically becomes now horsing. Pig becomes pigging. Dog becomes dogging. Rabbit becomes rabbiting. Peter becomes petering. Egg becomes egging automatically. If it is a verb, by default, it should have these three forms. Now you are what we call it as like, right? Now you have something to say. So what is this new concept that you are mastering today? That you have understood. What did you understand now? That you have understood that a noun becomes what we call it as the verb also. That's what you have to understand. So play, learn, what is verb? It's an action word. It's an action word. So horse, horsing, horse to horse. Sir, how do I have to activate this? Open dictionary today, you will find that horse is also verb also. That's why you remember last time I told you 1 into 4 concepts. The problem with us is that we know one word and we confine ourselves with that word itself. But why don't you make an effort in, if you know verb, why don't you know its adjective? Why don't you know it's what we call it as adverb? Why don't you know it's what we call it as maybe verb if it is? That is what the skill that you have to learn. So now horse now. Okay, right. So generally, what did I say? You see the rule here? When a noun becomes verb, it usually takes the characteristic feature of a noun. Yes. What is the characteristic feature of a horse? Horse, a characteristic feature is runs very fast. And sometimes you say it is also known for its power, horsepower we say, right? Yes, technical word that is. So it runs very fast. And what is the other characteristic feature? Other characteristic feature also, for example, like it jumps also. Horses jump. Supposing you go to participate in hurdle race, you don't carry with your donkey. If you carry with your donkey, donkey will kick you, asking you, why did you bring me? You should take what? You should take horse with you. Right? Yes, that is what it is known for. Its jump. Another meaning is jump also, right? So one day somewhere, my first graduation was in Toronto. So I was sitting in the class, right? And there were some Indian students also there. Indian students, when they go from here, they think that they know complete English there, right? When they go abroad, they really face difficulties. Sometimes for about at least 1 week, or at least fortnight, 15, 20 days, we don't understand the concept of lecturers because it is English accent and we don't easily grasp it. Especially Indian students who go abroad, they find it very difficult to cope up with the lecturers. But slowly they grasp it. Slowly they grasp it because they are in that kind of atmosphere. So one day when I was in the classroom, there was one of my friends also. So he was also a Telugu medium student. So Professor Robert entered into the class. The moment he entered into the class, suddenly his eyes fell on this person, Jack. Let me call it as Jack. And looking at that Jack intently, being on the dais, Professor, looking at him straight away, raised a question. He complimented something. What happened? Just Professor entered into the class and his eyes fell on that Jack and he commented like this. Hey Jack, why are you horsing in the classroom? And Jack was puzzled. What did Professor say? Why are you horsing in the classroom? Then Jack, not knowing the concept of this English, he literally took the word as a horse. Then he started looking beside right side and left side. Where is horse in this classroom? There is no horse in the classroom. Then he started looking four corners of the classroom. There is no horse there. Then, being suspicious, why professor has hinted me that there is a horse in the classroom, he wanted to inquire. Then he started inquiring, what we call it as, there was one American student who was sitting beside him. So he said, what we call it as, like maybe. So he scratched him and said, did you bring any horse into this classroom today? And that American blasted in English, you can't mention that classroom today. And this fellow did not understand anything. And looking at American, he said, I don't want to talk to you anymore, man. You speak very fast. I don't understand. What did he say? For your kind information, I did not bring any horse into the classroom today. That is what he said. And poor Indian students, they don't understand. And there was one Japanese student sitting beside him. He also scratched his head and asked him, hey, Chun Chun, did you bring any horse into this classroom today? And Chun Chun closed his eyes because they cannot speak proper English also. Right? Now tell me here, did professor really mean to say whether Jack has brought any horse into this classroom today? No. Right? No. But Jack has literally understood its meaning. So what did professor mean? So what is the characteristic feature of horse? Just now I told you, runs very fast and what we call jumps. So when professor entered into the classroom, he found that Jack was jumping from one bench to another bench. So professor rightly pointed out to him and commented like this, hey fellow, why are you horsing in the classroom today? Which means, why are you jumping like a monkey in the classroom? That is the meaning of horse. Are you able to understand, students now? Horse has a lot of meanings also, students. Like now again, there are a lot of idioms built on horse. One of the recent somewhere I have seen in one of the competitive exams. what we call it as like comes from the horse mouth. Horse mouth. So what is this horse mouth? Straight away from the horse mouth. What is horse mouth like? Horse mouth means not horse mouth itself. That is the meaning. This in a idiomatic phrase. So sometimes we ask like, does it straight away come from the horse mouth? What is horse mouth like? So today maybe you are in the classroom and suddenly your friend tells you, well man, tomorrow there is a holiday. And being doubtful, you raise a question to him. Does it straight away come from the horse mouth? Then you should not get puzzled like. So he is asking you, does it straight away come from the horse mouth? Now what is horse mouth like? Main source. So what is the main source? Does it straight away come from the principal's desk? Or have you overheard some of your friends stating this? Why in those days? There is a story behind that. Otherwise, idiom is not simply given to us. If an horse is to pass a message to soldiers, it was considered as a genuine message, pakka message. That's why people say, does it straight away come from the horse mouth? Not a dog's mouth, not a pig's mouth, right? So there are a lot of idioms. If you go on working on horse students, like now, supposing I enter into the classroom, teachers enter into the classroom, and sometimes or I go to my house and I find my children, then I see there, then looking at them, I just say children are horsing in the drawing room, which means they are running, they are jumping, they are breaking. That is the meaning of horsing. Try to understand, students, like there are a lot of nouns. 90% of the nouns become verbs like pig. What is the nature of pig? Roams in dirty places, gulps whatever it finds its like. So somewhere I heard in one of the classrooms, like a boy who knew language skills very well, a little bit stout girl was, during lunch hours, she was gulping. And the boy looking at that girl commented like this, "Hey Tinty, why are you picking so much in the classroom today?" And the girl, not having understood the word meaning pig as verb, she literally took that she is addressing her as a pig because she was also a little bit stout. And she threw the tiffin in the classroom and she made a big scene there, drama, that this so-and-so boy has addressed her as pig. And she started narrating that story to all the teachers whosoever has entered into the classroom. See, if you don't know, you'll make a mistake. Now, pigging means he said, "Why are you eating like a pig?" He said, like, right? That's what you have to understand. Dog's nature is to follow. It senses and it follows, like police dog. Supposing one of the, maybe like, for example, like suddenly a girl is reporting, maybe running with gasping breath and reporting somebody. Sir, or somebody, because I felt that someone was dogging me. No, it doesn't mean that the dog followed her up to the corridors. No. What is trying to say? Sir, I felt that someone was following me. I felt that someone was dogging me. Are you able to understand, students? Now, there are a lot of meanings like that. Rabbit. What is the meaning of rabbit like? Rabbit gnaws its teeth always. It goes on chews. It goes on gnaws its teeth, which means it has a negative meaning like chitter patter, talking nuisance about somebody. Always, her mouth always runs, which means she talks always nuisance about somebody. Or he always talks nuisance about somebody. Then I can say, he always rabbits in the classroom. He always rabbits about me. That word about has to come with rabbit. He always rabbits about me in the classroom, which means he always talks nuisance about me, spreads scandals about me. That is the meaning of rabbit, students, like now, right? Yeah, Peter. You yourself find out today meaning Peter, please. Every day it is in the news. Peter. We have seen pandemic has been petered. Now, what is pandemic has been petered? Now, you just look into the, what we call it as the dictionary, find out its meaning and bring to my notice, please, right? Egging also. What is egging like? Teachers usually egg students. Now, what is egging? You yourself find out and then let me know the meaning, please. Work out yourselves also. So, there is plenty of vocabulary like this, students, like now. So, sometimes you have to find out the nature, what we call it as, like sometimes we say the nature of the animals also. There are different words we can say. Supposing I say what we call it as like ursine nature, ursine Porcine means bear-like nature. Sometimes we say like, right? Pig-like nature. Porcine we should say. Actually, porcine nature. Porcine. Porcine nature students like now, right? Dog-like nature. Canine nature we say. Generally we say canine nature. Like. Someone has snake qualities like serpentine nature. Serpentine nature. Someone has a fox quality, sometimes like that, like wolfine nature, we say wolfine nature, like cow-like nature, obedient, bovine nature. You can go on as many as possible, students. Like I'll give the list of those ones. It is there already in the book also, I think I've given. So now what I want to say is that here now all the words are ending in ine, 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 ine. All are adjectives, what I mean. So by now, both like students, like now grammar point of view and vocabulary point of view, you are enhancing something. So both grammar and what we call it as vocabulary point of view, we students like are able to understand now, right? So don't confine yourself. You should become by now an educated man. Try to know the words that the word has different parts of speech. The word has different parts of speech. So that's what vocabulary has to be improved. Vocabulary doesn't mean that grandiloquent words. Magniloquent words. No, vocabulary is this. That's what we have to master. These one students like very good. So now little grammar point also. I'll continue little more students like what is grammar point of view now. I'll also continue with that one point. Abstract nouns do not take articles. That's what you have to understand now. Abstract nouns do not take abstract nouns do not take articles. For example, the cleanliness is next to the godliness. The beauty is the strength. See, correct the sentence. Where is the error here now? Maybe if you have understood my little bit of this one, students, like you should be in a position to tell me now, right? Yes. So there is some error there now, somewhere what you have to understand now, right? Yeah. So just I'm trying to see the grammar point of view now. If you have understood that, then let me see students like abstract nouns do not take articles. So therefore, the word just now we have seen students like now the word cleanliness is what we call it as a noun, abstract noun. So you cannot activate article the before them now. Any SS just now I said abstract noun, so no what we call it as like beauty. No abstract nouns place. Strength, th. They're all nouns place. Nouns, abstract nouns. So therefore, right? Yeah. Last time what we call it as like I told you, I gave the meaning of abstract. What is abstract like? You have understood abstract. I have divided and conquered. Ab means off away. Tract means to pull. That is the meaning of this one. Like so, what is abstract noun exactly, students? Last time I told you, abs means away, off. Okay, I'll just take the word off. I have already given now. Away, off, away, for right now. Tract means to pull. Tractor, trajectory. The word tractor. What does tractor does? It pulls the earth. So to pull off something from something, to pull away, which means to take something from something. So that is what exactly the adjectives now. Goodness is taken from good. That is what abstract. There are other meanings of abstract also, students. Like abstract means something which you don't understand because something is pulled from something. That's what. So there are certain meanings that we have to confine themselves and see. Okay, right. Right. So this is exactly abstract nouns like so. They do not take articles, students like now. The next one is, the next rule of this one is, let us see whether abstract nouns are singular. Are they singular or what we call it as like a plural. So sometimes abstract nouns are singular in form. That is also what you have to understand, students. Like now, abstract nouns are singular in form. Abstract nouns. Abstract nouns are singular in form, which means they don't have plural. So be careful about abstract nouns are singular in form. They don't become plural, students, like now, right? Supposing you said cleanliness. Cleanliness, no, we don't say. Beauty, beauties. No, we don't say beauties like beauty. So that is how abstract nouns don't become like, right? However, exceptions, like some students always ask me, sir, how many exceptions do we have in English? Like exceptions are there, students, like, for example, I take one word, students, like, for example, just now I use the word kindness. Can I use the word kindnesses? Just now I said cleanliness. No, you cannot use the word cleanlinesses. No, we don't say. Kindness. Yes, we can use the word kindness, kindnesses. Goodness, goodnesses, we can say. There are few words like, now, not all students, right? So supposing I say the word admission. No, I cannot say the word admissions. Admissions, as what we call it as, right? Now, there is a meaning of admission and admissions, but we say admissions are going on. Yeah, that is right. As an abstract noun, it is always what we call it as. It is wrong. Admissions are going on. There, the number, admissions there means that person, 1, 2, 3, 4. But as what we call it as like admission, when you come to the exercise, you will try to understand. As students now, admissions, we don't say. As permit, meaning it does not have plural form. Kindness, kindnesses, it is okay. How kindness, kindnesses, sometimes students like they become plural, when a abstract noun becomes a plural, they become common nouns. Common nouns. They become common nouns. Common nouns means they have singular and plural, like boy, boys, like how abstract nouns, when they are plural, they become what we call it as a common nouns. Like, for example, kindness. He has done one act of kindness there. 2 acts of kindness. 3 acts of kindness. 4 acts of kindness is equal to kindnesses. Over. Provocation. Ending in TION. Can we use the word provocations? Yes, we can say. 1 act of provocation, irritating, one place. Second act of what we call the provocation. 2 acts. But don't say 2 acts of provocations. We can say provocations. So there we can use, otherwise we should not use, students, like. So there are few, not all, like kindness we can say, provocation we can say, goodness we can say, but not all, students, like. Be reminded, please. So don't use anything and everything and everywhere, like now. So abstract nouns do not take articles. Number 1, abstract nouns are singular in form. Then when they become plural, they are common nouns. That is what we say, students, like, right? So what have we covered up just till now? That we have covered up a little bit of vocabulary, students. Then we have seen the grammar point of view. Now, can there be any analogical questions from this bit also? That is also what we have to see. From abstract nouns, can a test maker make any analogical questions? Like, yes. So just I'll take one example, students, like third one. For example, universalism is to particularism. The gate question, please. Universalism is a particular question. Particularism, gate. How do I know this is an abstract noun? First of all, students, like word ending in ISM. Just now we have seen suffixes. I'll give the page number, please. I'll give the page number. Once I finish this one, I'll just give the page number. Universalism is to particularism. right? So universalism, what is universalism like? That is what we have to understand. So when it appeared in the GATE, students, like some students really got confused, like universalism, particularism. What is ISM? ISM is extremism, extreme something. So universalism is something universal, right? Something what we call it as a large, something what we call it as a big. And something particularism is something what we call it as a specific, something confined to some place, right? The student has understood. A new universe means something big, and a particular means something specific. Like, so what are they here? They are actually antonyms here, students. Like, they are antonyms. They are antonyms. Like, they are antonyms. So some students told me, sir, universalism may be confined to religious. Now what we call it as and all. Like, words are very easy. We have been using these words. Something universal, man. Something particular. Are they not antonyms? Yes, they are antonyms. And what examiner will ask you? A, B, C, D. So one type of analogy is antonyms. One type of analogy is synonyms. There are different types of analogy. Come, wait, let us wait till I come to that analogical section now. So there was what we call it as like one of the options that GATE has given is what we call it as like diffusion. Diffusion is to what we call it as a specificity. So if both are antonyms, so one of the options you are also have to find out you have to determine. Right? When we don't know also we can what we call it as workout. I don't think that is any student who does not know the meaning of universe, who does not know the meaning of particularism. Diffusion. If you don't know, divide and conquer, students, like, right? Fusion. You fuse it, connect it, diffuse it. Again, something like spreading, something scattering, and specificity. Specificity is something particular. So don't you think both are what we call it as antonyms here now? So when you don't know, we have to divide and conquer these words and see whether they can be used by students like now. So wonderful sometimes. So can there be analogical questions from the abstract nouns? Yeah, GATE test makers can also raise a lot of questions of this type from abstract nouns. And you should be in a position to know the words and the vocabulary, students like now, right? So vocabulary is over, grammar is over, analogy is over. Is there any what we call it as sometimes examiners will ask you some sentence completion also. Sentence completion. What is sentence completion? Fill in the blanks. Can there be any questions of fill in the blanks from abstract nouns? Yes. So GATE examiner can test in the form of vocabulary. GATE as the examiner can also test in the form of grammar. Yeah, you fill in the blank in the form of grammar. You may miss one tense and you are supposed to fill the appropriate tense. And vocabulary, what is the right befitting word in the given sentence? What we call it as sentence, students now. Maybe just to try to find out one question which is there already in my book, but that has appeared in the GATE, which I have given in my book. Last year they have asked this question, right? So just let me go with one question, students. Like, for example, let us see. Her dash. You see that? Her dash should not be confused. Should not be confused. Her dash should not be confused with miserliness. Her dash should not be confused with miserliness. So long as I have known her, she has always been willing to assist. She has always been willing to assist those who are in need. This is a vocabulary based question. I'll give you the options A, B, C, D. Let me see if we can work out with that. The first one is intemperance. Perhaps you don't know the meaning of the word. The second one is apprehension. I think most of you know the word apprehension. The third one is diffidence. Diffidence. The fourth one is frugality. Diffidence. Right? So these are the words that they have given, and luckily I discussed this question in the class. You know why? As an example, sometimes I have to discuss it. Is there already in the theory book? I'll refer the theory book also. Wonderful way I have prepared it. I have not yet to come to the chapter pronoun. Once I come to the chapter pronoun, first of all, we have to understand. First of all, when we look at this fill in the blanks, it is not a grammar based question. It is a vocabulary based question. Her dash. What is missing in the first fill in the blank? That is your ability is, first of all, always try to understand, students, like which parts of speech that is. There are a lot of techniques to sort out. So noun is missing here. How do you know noun is missing here? Simple. Her purse, her pen, her car. Now, what are all these ones now? Don't you think they are all nouns now very easily? Which means the fill in the blank missing is nouns. Check first of all whether all are these nouns or not. First of all, you have to check. Examiner is very shrewd sometimes. He will give you, by rule, he has to give all nouns, but sometimes he may come out with different parts of speech. Yugashri, I'll come back afterwards. Are you able to understand, students, now, right? So first of all, let us check. The word is ending in CA, it's noun, no doubt. You cannot eliminate. This I call it as elimination process. SION also is noun, no, you cannot eliminate. Oh, the word is ending in C, that is also noun, you cannot eliminate. TY noun. Sometimes, if it is a verb, you can easily eliminate. If it is an adjective, you can easily eliminate. If it is an adverb, you can easily eliminate. Because her. I don't understand now. So examiner is trying to tell me you are supposed to fill noun, and all are nouns I cannot fill now. First point. The second point is, when I come to sentence completion, I'll throw more light on this. How do you look at one part of the sentence with the other part of the sentence, students? Okay, right? There is a relationship. Strengthening sentences, weakening sentences. Strengthening sentences, contrasting sentences. How strengthening and contrasting? For example, Ravi is absent because he is dash. Sir, I know the word. Ravi is absent because he is ill. Very good. Now, how do you know the word ill? One sentence, Ravi is absent, is supporting what it has to come in the next part of the sentence. Being absent, right? Because you are giving a conjunction there, because you are giving a reason there. So one part of the sentence is supporting the other part of the sentence. Like there are conjunctions. There are at least 15 to 20 supporting conjunctions. I'll come back to that. With that, we have to understand this is a supporting sentence. Contrasting sentence like, despite, though he worked hard, he dash. There are two sentences here. One part of the sentence is contradicting the other part of the sentence. The sentence says, he worked hard. What it should be? But he worked hard. You see the word, though he worked hard, he passed or he failed? Though he worked hard, he failed. You will say, you will not say pass. Though he worked hard, he failed. So here what has happened now? One part of the sentence is in contrast with the other part of the sentence. You have to be very careful. GATE has tested n number of questions like this. Contradictory questions. One part of the sentence is in contradiction. Now, if he works hard, he should pass. But because of the word though, you have to understand the next sentence should be in contradiction. So, antonym, like worked hard, antonym should be failed. That's all. That is how we find out here now. Wonderful now. That is one thing that we have to see, strengthening, and there are a lot of techniques to learn this. So one is parts of speech, the other one is strengthening and contrasting sentences. And there's one more thing we have to understand. Where can we work out looking at positive and negatives in the sentence? Whether a positive word should be filled or a negative word should be filled now. Okay, let us see now. We don't know what now. Her intemperance, her apprehension, her diffidence, or frugality, we don't know. Let us see. Should not be confused with miserliness. He is telling, don't look that woman and brand her that she is a miser. She is not a miser, which means positive or negative. He is trying to say he is not a miser. If you are a miser, conjusi. Her dash should not be confused with miserliness, which means something like uski appearance jo hai, looking at that woman, don't brand her that she is a miser. And there is a conjunction, supporting conjunction here now. So long as I have known personally, I have known her, she has always been willing to assist those who are in need. She's what we call it as like she does yeoman's service. Or she helps people, which means you should tell me we should look for positive word or negative word here now. We should look for positive word here. She's helping people. That's why do not be confused with miserliness. So when personality is something different. So if we are looking for positive, then we can easily eliminate negatives. So the next question is, what are positive words and what are negative words now? Some word which is pleasing your senses. Beautiful, positive word. Splendid, positive word. Good, positive word. A marvelous, positive word. What are all negative words like? Dirty, negative word. Idiot, negative word. Stupid, negative word. Bad, negative words. These are all what we call it as negative words. Now don't bring me and tell me, sir, bench. Negative word or positive word now, don't tell me. Bench can be bad, bench can be good also. But it is good, no? Right? Because you sit and write. But if the same bench hurts you, then you will say, sir, वो बहुत गंदी सी bench है वो हमेशा हमें मारती है वो bench, right? Right. Neutral words. They are neutral words like intemperance. I don't know, but my vocabulary has taught me words something like in, im, ir, ill. All are negative words now. Negative words, right? In, im, all are negative words like intemperance. So I'll take it. I don't know, but I'll take it this one as a negative words. That's what some educators sometimes students, how they test the paper like you don't know. Right? You have to work out with the techniques. And you have to understand students now, right? Yeah, right. So we are looking for who are in need. Need is a positive word. Not miserliness is a positive word again now. Not miser. Not miser. You see that? Not miser. Positive word. So what we call it as like not miser. Negative. Negative will become what we call it as is equal to positive word like. So that's what I have written there, positive word. So intemperance is negative word. Intemperate fellow means the meaning of the intemperance is that a fellow who eats a lot, gulps a lot, intemperate. Like in those days, there was one group called, what is that group? Skipping word. There's one group which is known for just for eating and Pecurians. What Pecurians are? Pecurians, something the word Pecurians like. Those people who eat. So in Roman kingdom, there was early in the morning, they don't have any work there, right? Get up, become fresh, and go to the what we call it as like a function. It's a big halls like Epicureans. Epicureans. Go and sit there. The cooking goes on the other side, like right, only mutton, chicken, and all like masala after masala. You have to sit there and inhale it. And their concept, their dictum, their fundamentalism is that the more what we call it as they inhale the what we call it as the fragrance, the more salvation is very near to them. Like they used to believe that. And after cooking is over, some dances also will go on there. Yes, you have to sit there, that's all. And after the cooking is over, you'll be given a cauldron, a big plate, like not small plate. You have to pile it up like a mountain, all the rice and all, chicken and mutton. You have a separate table there, go there, sit there, eat slowly. You have to cherish it. As you eat, you should feel that you're getting salvation. That is what unka concept hui tha. Eat, dances, that's all. Pleasure, seeking pleasure, right? So one plate has come up till maybe your chest now. There is one more trip also, second trip also you can go. And the second trip has it has come to the neck level now, right? There's one more trip, third trip also. And third trip is up to this level. Their belief is that salvation is through eating. Right? Salvation is through seeking pleasures of the world. Right? And if they want to go for one more trip also, it's possible. But you will ask me, sir, wo kaisa kahenge, wo bekoof hai, wo already they have eaten up till here, then where is the space to push it, suck it inside then? Push it. They will be given one pill. Some medicine is there. They have to take it medicine. And immediately they vomit also. So there are special rooms also. They go there and they vomit. Right? Again, come back. Have one more plate. Right? So don't be like Epicureans. So that is intemperance, like that's a word. So that is a negative word. So apprehension. I think you might have heard the word comprehend. Apprehend, comprehend, these are all both the words like. There's another meaning of apprehend is also negative meaning also. Apprehend is positive meaning like you understand what you have read. And there is apprehension is apprehend is police apprehended the thief. Catch, hold him tightly. It's a negative word again. Negative word now. Right? Yeah. Apprehend also is positive word also. Both it has positive and negative. Diffidence you don't know. But there is a word what we call it as a D is there. D is a negative word now. D is a negative word, please. Yesterday I told you. D is a negative word. Right? Yeah. So already negative word now. Frugality, you don't know. Frugal, you don't know. But already 3 words you have eliminated. Then what is left here now? Frugality is the absolutely right word. Frugality should not be confused with miserliness. So long as I have known her, she has always been willing to assist those who are in need. Frugal means economical. When she is in need, she spends, not lavishly, please, not intemperantly. Frugal person, we say, economical. Being frugal is economical. Frugality, we say, thrifty person who saves money, thrifty in a bank. So that is the meaning here, frugal person, students. Like I have already taught this word in the vocabulary. Sometimes when I come, there's a word frugal, students like. And luckily, most of the students have attempted this question in the exam, 1 mark. So the question now is what we call it as like, so the logic. So the cogentness of the sentence is that her frugality should not be confused with miserliness. Arey wo economical hai yaar, bas that's all. But doesn't mean that she is miser. When she needs it, she spends. Not she simply throws the money there, no? Right? And especially this pandemic has taught us a lot. That we need to be what? We need to be economical. You cannot spend as you wish, right? Very good, students. Now, so are you able to understand? I'm giving the concepts after concept, students, like, so that when the book is in front of you, you'll be going through them and mastering them. So there are a lot of techniques that wherein we can work out how to complete the sentences and all these ones now, right? Wonderful. Now, so there is a concept of a sentence completion also, students, like. So you thought that abstract noun means sir ne thoda sa bata ke chale jayenge. No. There are a lot of things that we need to understand. So these are all words are abstract nouns, students, like intemperance, apprehension, diffidence, frugality. They're all what we call it as abstract nouns. Did you understand, students? No, right? Very good. So this is exactly the Abstract noun. Now you are interested, sir. Where are these suffixes? You will find them in my book. I'll just give the reference also, please, so that you will go through them and read them, digest them, and understand. Okay, right? There is a page called students. Yes. The same question which I taught, it is there in my book, which I have already taught to my students, and luckily that appeared in the GATE examination. Page number 163, please. 163, my theory book. First question itself he has given there now, right? You see that same thing I have given now. Not simply giving. Today you open my book, page number 163, please. I'm just writing here 163. This question is a GATE question now. I have not only what we call it as given the answer there, I have substantiated it. I have analyzed how, why, what is that we have to eliminate there. If you can read my sentence completion, more than sufficient to understand. Fill in the blank, students, like that. But well, there is a little time I have to spend with this chapter also. I'll come back to that. That is page number 163. Please go through that. Grammar. So if you come to grammar chapter, students, yes. Yeah, you can take down page numbers. Page number 1, abstract nouns now. Okay, let me see. Yeah, this the so-called the suffixes. Yeah, suffixes like page number 176. Today you can master them, please. You will find them all 176, 177. They're all nouns. They're all nouns. Okay, right. Coming to page number 179, bottom you will find suffixes that form verbs. I have already given that. 180 page number you will find 29 suffixes that form modifiers. What are modifiers? Adjectives. So page number 180, 181 up to 182, 176 से लेके 182 तक. Please go through these suffixes, please. You will understand better. Okay, right, good. Now, students, like, allow me to go with the next content, please. Now, I think with this, the chapter abstract noun is over. Now we'll be moving on to the next one now. Right. So if you have any doubts, you can raise your hands based on the abstract noun. Yes. 1 or 2 doubts. If you students have some doubts, you can raise your hand, students, like, right? Yes, I'll just address a few, not many, because today I have to go with the chapter gender. Now I'll go. Gender is a very small chapter. Gogineni, Akash. Akash.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Akash. Good morning. Come on, tell me better. What doubt do you have?
Yeah. For the first time when I saw the word intemperance, I divided the word like a temper in plus temper. Temper is something like he's in bad temper. Like
tempered also, yes, he's a tempered person. That also you can take it as. But the word is intemperance. Temperance, that is. So good. Sometimes if you divide them, yeah, I told you at this juncture, you will not be in a position to divide them. Good. You have divided at least a temper, sir. I have understood that im is negative word, like, right? So that is what we have to understand sometimes. Very good. So I said, until and unless we have read at least 1 or 2 books, students, like, possible. So not reading some books like, maybe some vocabulary based book, just I said word power and all, like, you will understand those words. Is it okay, better?
Yes, sir.
Right. Any more doubts?
No, sir.
Right. Good. So you were in a position to start, at least that you got some idea. Rishi?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Rishi.
Sir, naughty word is negative relatives naughty.
Your voice is not clear. Voice is breaking, Rishi. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you, please. Manisha.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning, Manisha.
Sir, I had a doubt in apprehension. How did you reject? It means you had a cross for it.
Apprehension has two meanings, Vede. One meaning of apprehend is to comprehend. Comprehension means like apprehend means to understand actually. Com means together. That is what you understand, this reading comprehensions,
Yes, sir.
So one of the meanings of apprehend is to comprehend also, to understand.
Okay, sir.
But there is another meaning of apprehend is why you are able to understand, you are grasping something, right?
Yes, sir.
The negative meaning of grasping is holding somebody tightly. The police apprehended the thief means catching hold him firmly and taking him to maybe prison. Like that is the meaning of apprehension. Another meaning of apprehension.
Okay. So, sir, that will be negative. That's
Negative.
why.
Yeah, that's what like. So sometimes, but apprehension. Suppose most of you students should know that word apprehend. So her apprehension. What is her apprehension? It has nothing to do with the fill in the blank.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right, but any more doubts?
Thank you, sir. No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Meera. Meera. Is Meera in the class? You have raised your hand. It's okay. Right, students, now good. You are able to grasp it. You are able to understand. Right. So it's not that, see, if at all, if I have to teach abstract now, it can go for even 7-8 hours it goes. There are a lot of other things also, but so much is okay for a GATE student is like, you are able to understand, you are able to divide, you are able to get me now all these ones like, okay, right. Now we'll go with the next chapter. The chapter is the noun gender. Okay, the noun gender chapter. There are questions that appeared in the GATE also, students like try to just look into that one. I'll come back to that. Right. So what is this gender like? You might have heard the word gender biased. Yes, yeah, that is a chapter actually like. So what is this exactly the meaning of gender? Here it is. Okay, so if you look into that, because chapter noun also talks about singular plural concept, like next chapter is number chapter, next number chapter now. So with that would be the last chapter, like material noun and all I have done like little bit of so gender like, right? So when you talk about the gender, students, like first of all, again, you have to look into vocabulary. Gender chapter, does it talk about vocabulary? Does it talk about any grammar? Is there any analogical questions? Can there be sentence completions from genders also? A lot of things can be talked about. So first of all, we'll think of vocabulary now. Always what gender chapter can teach us in the form of vocabulary, let us say. So what is this gender like? Gender is nothing but, students, like now. Yeah, so this gender biased, we say sometimes, no, you know that. So gender can be divided into mainly into masculine and feminine genders, we say. So something like male and female gender, students, like a noun which categorizes as male and female or others also, then that is termed as a gender. So the meaning of gender, you might have understood, students. Now let us see now. So what is gender? How can we divide gender into 4? I'll try to divide, students, like now 4 genders like in English concept. Let me just look into that one now. Vocabulary based now. Under vocabulary based, let me just think of like A, like for example, let me just go with the word masculine. So masculine gender. So what is masculine gender? A noun which refers, identifies, a noun which defines what we call it as a male persons. is termed as masculine gender, we call it as students. Okay. A noun which defines, in other words, like that is termed as masculine gender. Okay, right. One minute. Female animal is termed as students. So a noun which denotes a male animal is termed as masculine gender. So what I can just give you one word now, maybe let me just give an example like COCK, cock. Okay, cock. Maybe if I go into what we call it as like then next me see feminine gender. Feminine gender. A noun which denotes a female animal is termed as feminine gender. So we can term it as hen and cock. Like so, hen is feminine and cock is right. Cock sparrow, hen sparrow. Okay, if you want to take it as cock sparrow, or sometimes hen sparrow, we can. So cock sparrow, we can take it as students like. If you want to look into that now, right? Right. Cock sparrow is same. So hen. So sometimes hen sparrow also, no problem. So a noun which denotes male is cock. A noun which denotes a feminine, that's what we call it as like a female, then we term as a feminine gender. And the C is there is one common gender. A noun which denotes either a male or a female is termed as a common gender, students, like either a male or a female. Either a male or a female. It can be male, it can be female also. Then what could be one of the example, students, like now maybe we can take it as a parent. The moment I use the word parent, then it can be male or female, students. The moment I use the word child, it can be male or female. The moment I use the word teacher, it can be male or female. The moment I use the word student. So either a male or a female. So that is how we have to understand these what we call it as the common gender, students, like so common gender is nothing but so either a male or a female. So number 4, there is neuter gender. So what is this neuter gender, students? A noun which denotes neither a male nor a female. Now वो male है ना वो female है. Then what could be the person like? Neither male nor female. Not male, not female. Right? Your mind is going somewhere else, but that is not those people like neither male nor female means na male na female means for example pen. Na wo male hai na female hai wo. Chair, tree, right? These are all termed as neuter gender, students, like, right? There is a other group of people that we try to say like you have there's a word I just forgot that word, like transgenders, like gays, like there is one short form for that. I just missed that. So there are other types of people, students, like now they don't fall under this chapter, right? So yeah, there's a 4 or 5 the abbreviated words actually. I'm unable to get that. Yeah, two participants raised their hands. They want to help me. Let me see. Kishore, what is that?
No,
Sure.
sir, by mistake and is right.
Okay. Someone knows that acronym? Okay, there are 2-3 students. I just forgot that. Let me just. Srikant?
Sir, is it LGBT?
What is that? LG? Right.
LGBT.
LGBT. T, and there's one more letter also.
Q, I think. LGBT.
LGBTQ. That's good. Very good, Srikant. Thank you for helping me.
Welcome, sir.
Right. Very good. Very good. Good. Others also may be knowing it, so they have given me that. Good. Right. LGBTQ. Right. Others can lower your hands, buddy. Good. So L stands for lesbian, then G stands for gay, and B stands for bi. Then again T stands for transgender, and Q stands for cure, I think. Yeah, cure. So this is one group students like that does not fall under this one. So grammar teaches us only masculine, feminine, common, and neuter gender. That's what my students like now. And to them, I think we call them as she males. Both the gender come to them like so. She males they say sometimes, right? Wonderful students. Like now you have categorized this one and what we call it as now, right? Vocabulary based. So this is vocabulary I call it as. And I'll also talk about the masculine and feminine. It is there in the what is that? It is there in my book also. You also have to know. One of the years they have asked, and sometimes they don't know what we call it as like. So grammar point of view. Now let us see now. So vocabulary is over. Now we'll go with the second point is grammar students. Like now let us see grammar. So what could be the grammar point of view here now? Okay, let me just go with the next bit now. The grammar point of view. For example, if I make a statement like the manager is absent because she is ill. So is the sentence right or wrong, students? Like now let me not waste my time and your time now. Come on, let us see. The manager is absent because she is ill. Most of them will tell me the sentence is absolutely right. The manager is absent because she is ill. But I have to say, because grammar strictly follows and adheres to its concepts. So we have to follow them, right? All right now. So there is some error here in the word she. The manager is absent because she is ill now. All girls will get angry with me, sir. Can't there be managers? Can't we become managers? Definitely you can become manager. I don't deny that. You can become manager of the company then. They're big people like, right? Very good. The manager is absent because she is ill. But the mistake that you made is manager is masculine gender. So the word manager is masculine gender. You cannot refer to she. You have to refer only to he. The manager is absent because he is ill, we have to say. Then what do you address to the feminine gender? Then you should say the manageress. The manageress is absent. Yeah, the manageress is absent because she is ill. Now it is okay now. So there is a clear categorization, students, like now. Always sometimes these newspaper fellows, they make a lot of mistakes like manageress. She. Last time I just read that actor did, then I understood masculine gender. But when I went through the article, it was actress. Then you should be very careful. No? But you cannot simply, right? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Poet. Poet is masculine gender. And what about poetess? You have to say poetess. Administrator, masculine gender. Administratrix is absent because she is ill today. So administratrix, you should say that is feminine gender. Are you able to understand, students, now? So administratrix. So you have to master them. What is masculine? What is, for example, simply boy, girl, over. Man, woman. Simple, right? So there is grammar that strictly adheres to that. You need to follow them, students. Like. So wonderful. Like so, grammar point of view. Please pay little attention towards that one, students. Now, third one, can they make any analogical questions from the gender? N number of analogical questions I find most often. Supposing I take one question and analogy, students, like for example, like cow is to bull. So they can write a lot of questions from this bit. Cow is to bull. Bull like. So options, if you go with the options A, B, C, D. So what could be the option like? They are sometimes giving in the fill in the blanks also. If cow is related to bull and bull is related to cow, they will give one more word and how it is related to what, and options have been given. Or sometimes in this format also they try to give students like, right? So maybe one of the options is mare is to stallion. Cow is the feminine gender for bull, just as mare is the feminine gender of stallion, mare, horse, a kind of a horse. Cow is the feminine gender of a bull, just as mare is the feminine gender of a stallion. Just as. You see here the expression like similar, they use the word just as. Just as or similar to this relationship, they always use the word similar to this relationship you are supposed to find out. So there can be a lot of analogical questions that can they test in this one, students like now. Are you able to understand now? Very good. Right, students, now we'll be moving on to the next bit now. So there is one question also that appeared from the number 4. Now I'll be going on to that number 4. There's one question that appeared in the gender chapter. There is something called personification. I never thought that they would take a question from personification, but they have taken one, what we call as a question from personification. What is personification, students like now? In English, you might have learned when you were in 9th class and 10th class personification. You personify an object. एक object को लेके हमने एक person बनाते हैं. That is what we call as a personification. Like you personify an object as a male, you personify an object as a female. So there are two things what we call it as. In other words, giving life to objects. Giving life to objects. This is done only by poets and poetesses. Scientists will not give life to object like. He will not consider it as a male or a female. वो बोलेगा वो ये thing, this is thing means thing only. Mathematician वो thing ही है. But poetry, expression of emotions, expression of feelings, and that is what we term it as a poetry like. So grammar, literature talks about personification like. So we personify a lot of object, students like now in nature as what like, as sometimes masculine gender. So which are the objects which are termed as what we call it as masculine gender, right? So sometimes we term them as masculine gender. Some objects we term them as the feminine gender, students like now, right? Yeah, just a bit. So what is masculine and what we call it as? So objects are remarkable, known for, in other words, students like objects remarkable or known for their power in the universe. There are some objects which are known things. Giving life to objects means, in other words, things. Objects which are known for or remarkable for what? Remarkable for power, remarkable for maybe strength, or remarkable for what? Energy. They are termed as masculine gender. Simple example you have learned in literature, sometimes sun is masculine gender. We consider it as masculine gender. For example, maybe the sun sheds his, her, its beams on rich and poor alike. Now here, Let us look at this question now. The sun sheds his ya her ya its beams on rich and poor alike. I am talking from the personification point of view and the poetical point of view, students, like, right? So we are personifying sun here. The sun sheds now. So sun is considered as masculine gender here. So therefore it cannot be her, it cannot be object. So we have to use it as the sun sheds his beams on rich and poor alike. Who says such kind of statements? Only poets and poetesses. But if at all, if a scientist has to use, he will not use the word he or she there. Directly, he will use the word it. So depending on the sentence, we have to see. So there's one exercise that comes afterwards, this one, like a lot of students ask me again and again. So be careful here. First of all, see whether it is personified or not. Are you able to understand, students, like now? Personified or not, that's what we have to understand. So therefore, sometimes don't make mistakes there. So the sentence is very clear, whether it's from the scientific point of view or from the poetry point of view now, right? Number B. So feminine gender. Feminine gender. A noun which is remarkable or known for what? Known for its beauty, in other words, I call it as. A noun which is remarkable for, right? An object which is remarkable for its beauty or gracefulness, I say, or elegance. We term them as, sometimes elegance or tenderness. We term them as feminine gender. For example, moon, known for its beauty. So we term it as a feminine gender. Hindi people don't counter question me, sir, हमें उसको चंदा मामा कहते हैं. मामा का मतलब होता है uncle होता है वो. Now don't ask me now. That is Hindi literature. This is English literature now. So moon has to be considered as a feminine gender in English literature now. Okay, right. So let us just take maybe one sentence, students, like for example, like the moon has hid his, her, its face behind a cloud. The moon has hid his, her, its face behind a cloud. So you are literally oriented person, right? So what we have to do now, right? Let us take it as the moon has hid his, her face. Since it is feminine gender, it cannot be his. It cannot be its. It should be her, students, like the moon has hid her face behind a cloud, we have to say. But as from the scientific point of view, it only we have to say. Supposing a scientist is measuring the distance from the earth to moon, then we have to say it. No, don't say her. Poets only say that, not you students like now, right? Very good now. So personification. So last time they have also asked a question from this one, students like now. And the word exactly, they did not use the word as masculine gender and person. And they have given a question like feminine and what we call it as a masculine gender. And they said, what kind of sentence is this now? What kind of a sentence is this now, right? So this chapter comes from where? Can anyone tell me? Personification, like, right? We have learned today parts of speech. One chapter is called parts of speech. So there are something what we call it as 8 parts of speech. And there is one chapter also you have learned in your primary school. So there is something like figurative speech. So what is figurative speech is like? Figure of speech, like. So figurative or figure of? Figure of speech you have learned. Can someone tell me what is figure of speech like? So they have given one question and they asked what kind of sentence is this, they said down. Is it a collateral sentence? Is it a figurative sentence? Is it literal sentence? Something that they have asked this question like, what is the figure of speech? Can someone tell me, anyone, figure of speech? You have learned parts of speech, I am very happy. Rishi, what is figure of speech? Have you heard this word at least?
Previous, sir. Previous.
What is figure of speech?
So I don't know, but previous, sir. Feminine Romla, sir.
Rishi, your voice is breaking, bete. There is yes, Saxena. Saxena wants to tell me now.
Sir, figure of speech is basically used to describe the various ways in which we can use those in the sentence to make it look better, like metaphor, personification is one.
Very good. Like, so another example you have given me is metaphor you have given me. Can we give me some other examples also? Metaphor you have learned in your metaphor, and what else you have learned in your high school when your teacher was telling you she has taught you figure of speech like rest, right? One is metaphor.
The metaphor, simile.
Simile, very good, like simile, metaphor, alliteration, very good. Alliteration, then again, what else you have learned? Like metonymy you have learned, hyperbolic sentences you have learned.
Yes, sir.
There are a lot of, at least you have 15 to 18 figure of speeches there are in English.
Yes, sir. One was onomatopoeia also, which was used to describe sound.
What is that now? What did you say? What is this?
Sir, onomatopoeia, sir, it is used to describe sound.
Onomatopoeia also you have learned now, right?
Yes, sir.
But GATE has tested even these ones also. They said, what kind of sentence is this? Sometimes we have learned these sentences, but if you didn't know the title name, then students have gone wrong there. The word comes from figure of speech. So very good, Saxena. Good. So which means examiners have gone. Sorry. One minute. Saxena, you have gone to panelist.
Yes, sir. I think mistakenly you promoted me to panelist.
Then I have to say change role to attendee, right? Right. Very good, madam. Right. Yugashri, do you have anything to tell me? Good, madam. Good. Wonderful.
So it is a common noun and specialized group bonding different languages. It can be written and spoken language.
Written as spoken language?
Yes, sir.
These are all these figure of speech?
Figure of speech, written and spoken language, and a specialized group, but the common group.
Okay. Specialized group of words like, okay, that's specialized group like. What is simile?
Sir?
Have you heard the word simile?
Simile.
Simile, S-I-M-I. Simile. No.
Similar, sir. I think similar.
Okay, what is metaphor? Have you heard metaphor?
No, sir, metaphor.
Okay. These are all the words you have already heard it when you were in 9th and 10th students now, right? Sarthak. Okay, I'll take one more student like Sarthak.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Sarthak, good morning. Come on, tell me, madam.
Yes, sir. So simile is the direct comparison, like we say like. So that is a direct comparison.
So in simile, we use the word like, the word comparison. Very good, madam. Very good. What is metaphor?
And metaphor is indirect comparison. So like relation. We can say
relation, and we use the word like as.
As, yes.
Such expressions like as. Okay, very good.
They may not be directly linked, like they may not make
indirect
direct sense,
way of,
but indirect way of referencing.
Right. And GATE has tested that question also. So let us be. I mean, like, do you think that can I skip any chapter like that? No, you cannot think of students now. So there is something like figure of speech. I have already given now. Next, we'll move on to the next number students now. Here we go. 4, and this is number 5. So generally, students, like generally, right. So generally, lower animals. Generally lower animals and young children. Young children are termed as neuter gender. Try to understand this concept. Generally lower animals. Ants, very difficult to identify they are masculine or feminine. Are you able to understand? Sometimes maybe fish, masculine or feminine. Are you able to understand sometimes? So generally lower animals and young children also are termed as neuter gender. What is neuter gender? It is considered as neuter gender, right? Yes. For example, when you make a statement, you should be a little careful, students. Like, for example, when you make a statement, like, come on, let us see. The baby loves his, her, its toys. So straight away, without much difficulty, students, like the baby is the child here now. Young children, so sometimes don't say his, don't say her, but we have to say it's the baby loves its toys, we have to say. But when the gender is very specific, supposing you go to some schools like, right, not co-education, only girls school. There are only girls, then don't use the word it, please. When it is very clearly mentioned, when the atmosphere, when the situation is so clear, you cannot say that it is negative or it's there now. Someone has raised hands, I'll come back to that. So the baby loves its toys, we have to say. So are you able to understand, students, now? So depends on the sentence point of view, depends on what we call it as, like, how do you look at the sentence there now? Okay, right, very good. So this is the chapter, the gender chapter, students, like now, not much of that one now. So I have given some examples, like, yes, like what examples I have given there now? Just I have given sometimes, like, yeah, there are a lot of examples, students, like, maybe I can go with sun here now, right? Anything that is very harsh, anything rough, anything known for moon, spring, autumn. There are a lot of words, students, like now we can go on, like something which is beautiful in nature, something which is like feminine, and something which is personification like sun, right? Yeah. So go ahead with that words and find out them and work out with students, like, right? Very good. So this is how the gender chapter I have taken into. So gender is also over now, right? Now we'll be moving on to the next chapter, students, like now, that is just, I'll introduce that next chapter now, the number chapter now, right? So the gender chapter is over. Now we'll be moving on to the this is a bit lengthy, but we have to understand this concept also. Just I'll introduce that concept and then we'll be moving on to the, okay, right now, just let me see. I'll introduce, that's all. I'll introduce the chapter, that's enough. Because we are running short of time. So the chapter name is, students, like, just I'll introduce only today. The number chapter, sorry, the number, yes. The number, students, like in English, there are two kinds of numbers. One is singular number, and we have something like plural numbers. So let us work out with the chapter like singular numbers and plural numbers now, right? Yeah. So what are the singular numbers and plural numbers? I have to give the concept of this. 1 minute, better. So this now this we are coming to the number chapter, singular number and plural number. This will highlight a chapter called, students, like now, subject, verb, subject verb agreement, which is very, very important chapter now, right? First of all, we have to master the concept of nouns, students, like as I said, what we call a singular and a plural number now. Sir, boys, I know pens are very good. I know, students, like that's wonderful. But there are a lot of intricate nouns wherein singular and plural they change. And that is what we have to master, students, like now. So singular and plural concept, like for example, if you go as many as possible now, maybe it takes a little bit of time, students, like now, what we call it as, already I'm running short of time. So maybe singular and plural concept, I'll try to take it as next bit. But if I ask you one or two questions, students, like let me see whether you can do these questions, like come, let us see. There's one exercise here now, sorry. You see this exercise there, maybe Peter is Shakespeare of our class. Maybe I have to come back to the exercise afterwards. Maybe you will do it, I believe, like Peter is Shakespeare of our class. What is correct? The following sentences, like there can be one error, two errors, like, but examiner will not test like this one sentence. But if you have understood the concept, then I think we can look into that. Anyone in the class? Peter is Shakespeare of our class. What is the error here now? Saxena. Let me see, Karthik. What is one or two students? Karthik.
Sir, Peter is the Shakespeare of the class.
That's all, absolutely like. Yeah, Peter is the Shakespeare of our class. For timing, we'll take it as Peter is the Shakespeare of our class. We'll take it as, students, like now, right? Someone will say, also ask me, sir, Peter is a Shakespeare of our class. Will it be right? Absolutely. No, absolutely, it would be right. But only thing is, I have not given the situation there. So I have not given any situation there, na?
Yes,
Maybe there are kind of what we call it, there are 4 guys, 5 guys in the class, Shakespeare's, and I am trying to say that Peter is a Shakespeare of our class. That also will be right. But here we'll go with the situation has not been given. So we'll say Peter is the Shakespeare of our class. Is it okay, Karthik?
Okay,
Right.
sir.
Very good now. So see that such kind of questions can be raised in the examination also, right? Second question is, the capital of Telangana state is Hyderabad. There is some error in this one, like what is the error? If someone can point out and let me know, please. Only Saxena has raised his hands, like Chaitanya. Okay. Saxena, what is the error there?
Sir, it will be the capital of Telangana is Hyderabad.
Capital
Has to be omitted.
Then what we should say?
So the capital of Telangana is Hyderabad. Or Hyderabad is the capital of Telangana, but that would sort of rearrange the sentence. So
Okay, Saxena, I'll come back to you. Saxena. Good. It's okay. Saxena has given his explanation. Chaitanya?
Sir, I think that da should be omitted. The on the front should be omitted.
That should be eliminated. Okay, Chaitanya, I'll take it as. Let me see others, what they are trying to tell me. Let me also see. Shankar Ishwari.
So the Hyderabad, the first letter should be capital H and the Telangana capital T.
T should be capital, H should be capital. That is what you want to say?
Sir.
Absolutely right. Let me also see, someone else is trying to tell me, sir, उसमें और कुछ भी लग रहा है मेरे को. Manoj Srinivas. Any error?
Yes, sir. Same, sir. T should be capital and H should be capital.
And yes also should be capital. Telangana state.
Oh, okay.
Right? Telangana. T should be capital, S should be capital, and H should be capital. Small errors. So the capital of Telangana state is Hyderabad. Okay, very good, students. Like others, okay, fine. Like, right, let me also ask you one more question. Let me see if someone can do that question. The jury have given its decision. Yugashri, yeah, let me see whether you can answer this question. The jury have given. Yugashri?
Sir, the jury have given, it's a division. J should be capital. Jury.
Jury is a collective noun, not proper noun. Okay, Yugashri, just wait. Your friends, let me see what your friends say that. Let us also see. Right. Saxena?
Sir, it should be has given its decision, I guess.
Has given. Why
Yes,
guess,
sir.
ma'am? Why guessing like?
No,
You
sir,
have to
it's true actually because they
Yes.
give their decision
Okay,
unanimously.
has you have to say. Okay, let me
Yes,
see
sir.
others also. Let me also check with one or two more. One or two more also. Let me say. Yogesh.
Yes, sir. Have should be replaced with has because jury here
Collective
acts
noun.
as
So the
yes.
rule says collective nouns generally take a singular verbs like singular. They are actually singular. So have is plural here. You have to correct it as a singular. Very good, Yogesh. Very good. Very good. That's all. It's a collective noun, bete. Right? It's a collective noun. Right? Wonderful now. Right? Let me see. Manisha. Next question to you. The cotton is a cash crop.
Sir, the cotton is not important. Cotton is a cash
Cotton
crop.
is a cash. So what is the error here?
So the should be omitted.
Why?
So the means cotton.
Is a material noun. Material nouns don't to take articles, right? But very good, very good. Oh, I'll just take one more question and then we'll wind up, students. Like now, let me just see. Chaitanya, I'm allowing you. Peter had a herd of cows. He kept a herdsman to look after her. What you should say?
Her should be replaced with them, sir.
Them?
Oh,
Herd
it.
of cows, like.
It should be replaced.
Peter had a herd of cows. He kept a herdsman to look after it, we should say. Very good. So, Chaitanya, very good now. Because it's I told you collective nouns to take neuter gender, I said. Just as I told you, young children and young, what we call it as lower animals. Rupesh, what is that next question? Like the baby loves his toys. Just now I told you that question. Yes. Rupesh, are you there in the class?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Baby loves its toys.
Lower and young children takes neuter gender. Very good, bete. Good now. So you are all doing well. Only thing is when you go through the chapter only you can do. Sadanandan, let me just see one question to Sadanandan also. The mouse lost his tail when the cat pounced on him. Sadanand, you're not there in the class. Okay. Let me see one more. Who is this? Anil? Kalepu Anil? Okay. Madhuri? K. Madhuri?
Yes, sir.
The mouse lost his tail when the cat pounced on him.
Yes, sir. The mouse lost its tail when the cat pounced on it.
Absolutely right. Why? Any explanation?
Yes, sir. We cannot say that it is a female or a male.
Mouse is a lower animal. That's all. Like ant is a lower animal. Lower animals always takes a neuter gender. Like the mouse lost its tail when the cat pounced on him. Like right. Very good. Okay. Since the number is 10 there, I'll just give one more chance to one more person here now. Sarthak. Sarthak, the sun rose from behind the clouds and with her brilliance toward the wheel of darkness.
With its brilliance toward the while of darkness.
With its, should I take the word its? Okay, I'll come back, Sarthak. I'll come back. Let me see if there is any guy in the class who also wants to tell me like Sarthak, other than Sarthak now. Let me see. Karthik.
With his, sir. With his.
With it.
His.
The sentence is written so, what we call it as in a poetical manner. The sun rose from behind the clouds and with her no, with his brilliance told the Veer of darkness. It is poetical language. The sentence is in poetry. Therefore, sun is considered as the masculine gender. So you have to use with his brilliance. We have to say, all right, Karthik, very good. And the last sentence, let me see here. Last one. Ashwant Kumar, nature offers his lap to him that seeks it. Ashwant?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ashwant. Nature offers his lap to him that seeks it.
Nature offers its lap to him that seeks it.
Nature never did betray the heart that loved her, we say. Yes. Nature ने किसी को धोखा नहीं दिया. जो प्यार किया उसे वो भी प्यार किया. Right? Right. But others, like here, very good now. Nature offers, like nature is a feminine gender. Because like just now I told you, moon, nature, which is very pleasant. Nature offers her lap to him that seeks it. Then it's okay, like to him that seeks it now. Like last question, very good. So we have taken today 10 questions now. Last, let me see, Damant.
Hello, sir.
The earth goes around the sun in 365 days. Can you calculate her speed?
It has to be his speed, sir.
His earth is considered as his man, masculine or feminine?
Okay. I think it's masculine gender, sir.
Masculine gender, earth is. अरे यार,
sorry.
मदर कंट्री, हाँ, धरती जो होता है वो फेमिनाइन जेंडर होता है वो. And the sentence is now, you see now, the earth goes around the sun in 365 days. Can you calculate her speed now? Actually, earth is the feminine gender. Is the sentence right or wrong now? That's what my Damant.
Then the sentence is correct, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
First, what did you say?
I mean, I confused with the gender, sir.
No doubt, poetical language, earth is masculine gender, right?
Okay.
Let me see, Damant, like last one, I will ask, and then let me see one more. Is that Rupesh? What is your answer? The earth goes around the sun in 365 days. Can you calculate our speed?
It's speed, sir.
Here, it's a speed. It's not a poetical language. Mathematician is using this sentence now. According to mathematician and according to scientists, they will not consider it as masculine and feminine. Only poets will consider it as. So the earth goes around the sun in 365 days. Can you calculate its speed? We should say. No doubt, earth is feminine gender, students, like now, right? So, but the sentence tells here from the point of a mathematician. So we have to take this one as the it's here now. Very good. Most of them have raised their hands. I don't have the time, students. Now I'm running short of time. We'll meet again in my next class. Now you are able to do well. Only after the chapters you will be able to do well. So tomorrow I'll start with the next chapter is what is that now? I told you number chapter, students. Like that's very important subject verb agreement. Have a nice day. We'll meet in my next class. Lower your hands, please. Thank you. Thank you. Right. So we'll meet in my next class again, students. Good. The slides, students, like I have not yet taken all. Even if they don't send the slides, don't worry about it. Because once I finish only, then I have to show you the slides, right? The others, so don't worry about that. Only written, if he sends also, you take it. Or if he sends also, no problem, we'll take it in my next class, right? Good day.